So yeah, my name is Teresa. I use she, her pronouns. I am a senior at Hunter College and I am doing a CUNY BA degree. So I created my own major and I'm calling it Art and Advocacy. And I've been president of the Photographers Collective for the past 3 years. So honestly, it feels like my baby and I'm really excited that we're able to have this showcase. And I'll pass it over to my vice president, Talina.
Hi everyone, my name is Talina. My pronouns are she and her. I am also a senior at Hunter. I've been involved with the collective since I transferred into Hunter 3 years ago, 2 years on the e-board. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone's work. I have a major in film and media studies. And you probably saw me more in the Tuesday session, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing everyone from Friday sessions work. But yeah, I'll pass it on to Ale or Camille.
Hi, I'm Alejandrina. I'm the treasurer of the Photographers Collective. I'm a sophomore at Hunter, majoring in film and political science. This is my second year in the collective. I just joined my freshman year to just see how everything, I guess, worked behind the scenes of the collective, and I was mostly in the some of the Friday groups, but I'm excited to see how everybody's work turned out. And I'll pass it on to Camille.
Hi everyone, I'm Camille. I'm a sophomore at Hunter College, and I'm the secretary for the Photographers Collective. And I think my first club extracurricular activity at college was an internship with the Photographers Collective, and now I'm the secretary. And it's really cool to see how the clubs developed, like and how the collectives developed over the semester. And I'm really excited to see everyone's work tonight.
Right. So I have a couple of announcements to make and also to introduce the Photographers Collective since this we have outside guests, people that are coming, friends and family, people who don't attend Hunter College. So I'll be giving a little bit of background on what we do. So our mission is to build a community of photographers and supplement the courses that are offered at Hunter College. And we have our faculty mentor, Christina Freeman, who's also a adjunct professor at Hunter here with us as well. So we definitely appreciate her support, and she has made a lot of connections between the photography students at Hunter and our photographers collective. And additionally, we have critiques through our cohort. We're able to facilitate them in our own um, in outside of classes, but we also have exhibitions. If we were in person, we have the Sweet Fly Paper Gallery that is on the 11th floor of the North Building. So that is where a lot of students are able to exhibit their work. And additionally, we go on outings when we can, but obviously that's not um, doable during this time. And sometimes we have workshops with guest artists that come speak to us, or they host a workshop and show us their practice. So that's just a little bit about what we do. But I will pass it over to, give me one moment. Uh, sorry, folks, 1 second. We have our collective in the audience. We're just gonna quickly have, I'll read out their names, sorry, for the sake of time. So we have Noah Benus, he's waving, if y'all just want to find them in the audience. Then we have Sela Lynk, hi, and we have Moselle Douff. We have Zhengtao Er. We have Phillip McCoy. Hello. And we have Genesis Salinas. Then we have Stephanie Gazza. We have Rene Dominguez. And let's see, did I miss anybody? Kimberlee Innis. I saw your face. Okay, and okay, actually now it's a serious question. Did I miss anybody? Okay, great. So right now we did experience some technical difficulties, but give me 1 second and I will be able to start screen sharing. Okay, it might be more than a second. Thank you for your patience. So I think I said this earlier, but we do have a handful of projects to go to, 9 exactly. So it will take roughly an hour and a half for this showcase. So if y'all wanted to get something to drink or a snack, this would be a great time to do that as we get ourselves situated. But again, thank you for your patience. Okay, everyone. So here's a nice little collage of our photographer's work, one picture from every project. So if y'all don't mind if I hit the reset button for this intro, because we did have slides, but we're having some technical difficulties. So I'll try to quickly go through this. But just so y'all can actually see our slideshow, we'll be able to kind of go through the information. Okay, so we did eBoard introductions. This is us, my wonderful eBoard, help us put this together. And then again, our mission, if you wanted to like read it more thoroughly, again, we like want to encourage the growth of emerging photographers, artists, and thinkers at Hunter. And we offer a platform for community, learning, and creativity. And we'll touch upon that in a little bit as well. But really emphasizing collaboration, exchanging ideas, and offering feedback. So I think we did a really great job this semester with reaching our goals. Again, some of what we did in the past are weekly critiques, we had an exhibition and some workshops. And these are some of the courses that you can take at Hunter. And first you would start off with our LA 201, and then the Principles of Photography course, you have to take that and it's in the darkroom. And then you can go on to advanced photography and even take digital photography. For more information, you can check out the Hunter College website. And again, all of our wonderful faces, they were waving earlier, but we'll just quickly go through them now. And so referring back to like what I was saying about our mission statement, that today is really celebrating all of the work that each individual did on their projects. Not only did they meet every 2 weeks with us for critique, but they also worked outside of our meeting time and were able to come in with a lot of exciting ideas and things that they wanted to share with each other. So we all came in at orientation and wanted to express like what our goals were for the semester, and everyone was really excited to be in a group that would hold them accountable and be able to build a community. So I think now that we're all here today, like I feel like we definitely are, and we're able to facilitate our e-board was able to facilitate that for our cohort. But again, this is the first time we're doing this virtually, so it was really challenging in some parts, but I think that it's a really great success, and I'm glad that we're able to have this virtual showcase. So before we get started with the showcase and the presentations, if y'all can rename yourselves. So when we're asking questions, we can properly address each other. And also if you want to add this, your relationship to the First Collective, if you are an artist yourself, or if you're a family or friend of a photographer. And then I myself will be renaming myself as the president because that is my position. So I'll give y'all a couple of a minute to do that. So as everyone's renaming themselves, if anyone's confused, by the way, you could just go to participants or under participants, like cursor over your name, and then you can select rename. And just so y'all know how it's gonna go down, each member will be presenting their project and give like an artist talk on their process and also what their project is about. So please save your questions and comments for the end. We do encourage live participation, but you are also free to ask questions in the chat and we will do our best to get to them. So we'll get started in just 1 minute. So if our first presenter is ready, we can get started.
Hi, everyone. My name is Noah Benus. I'm a white male with long dark hair, silver round glasses, and a dark mustache. I'm wearing a gray, blue, and red flannel shirt, and I'm sitting in a dimly lit white room with a lamp and a bookshelf behind me. I'm going to read my artist statement as a slideshow is going to play of my 10 images, and then as we stop on certain images, I'll do image descriptions and I'll take any comments, questions after I read my artist statement and give some time for you to view the images. In these 10 still lives, I explore the dynamic relationship between analog and digital photographic processes. By juxtaposing organic and inorganic material into an arranged and scanned still life, I'm able to collapse layers of reality. Using the floral vernacular of still life paintings, I transform your understanding of preserved beauty by scanning 4x5 film along with the plants. Imagery of a moon, sun, and stars, though not real, offer a substitute for the natural celestial bodies. In addition to those objects representing nature, I include Earth through a composition of fruit and of silver salts found on the photographic film. These materials fill in for the organic, while the method of photographing by a scanner and viewing through a digital format highlight the contradiction of real and augmented. The digital process to me is a predetermined static algorithmic reality, while the organic is a ritualized and chaotic consciousness. So I'll just let the slideshow play again. If anyone, or actually, I'll just show them like this. And can everyone see them okay? I know they're little squares right now, but I could zoom in if anyone would like to look closer. Full screen. So this first image, and I'll just go through them using image descriptions. The first image is of a 4x5 glitched piece of film overlaid with blue, yellow, and red petals on a dark black scanner bed with some blue, light blue petals coming up from the bottom. This next image is a dark image with the same red, yellow, and blue flowers coming out of a glitched sharps container that has a red and yellow label, and the red label in black writing says biohazard warning peligro, and a contaminated hazard symbol that has a little distortion from the scanner. The next image is of a clock with the hour hand at 6 and the minute hand a minute past 12. There's a wandering Jew plant coming up from the bottom of the frame, and there are glitched roses on the left side of the frame with a full scanned rose on the top right of the frame with a diagonal 4x5 inch piece of film. The next image is of a scanned piece of Torah with a 4x5 Torah scroll with Hebrew text on it with a scanned 4x5 black disc covering some of the words, wandering Jew leaf popping out of the bottom left of the frame, a rose on the top left, and a piece of hay coming from the right side through the black disc up to the top right of the frame. The next image, happy second night of Hanukkah for anyone that's celebrating. The next image is of a menorah with a silhouette of a menorah with a Jewish star next to a scanned bisected fig. You could see the fig is pinkish, purplish, red, and on top is a wandering Jew plant coming from the top right side of the frame. The next image is of is a bisected image or a kind of a diptych of an image with a pair of scissors open in the middle. On the right side of the frame is this copper wire chain fence on the bottom with a snipped hydrangea coming out from the right, and on the left side of the frame are artificial roses scanned inside an orange and green pill bottle with the same copper wire overlay, except the left side of the frame is darker than the right side of the frame. This is a scanned image of a moon and a star and some white flowers on a grayish cream background. And this is a scan of a sun that's gold and has a blue disc around it with white stars and some pink flowers on a grayish blue background. This is a scanned image of yellow flowers with a 4x5 piece of film on top of it with some negative glitch effect on top of some of the flowers, causing some blue and yellow glitch variations. And the final image is a white background with a piece of 4x5 film in the middle. Underneath is a kind of tortoise shell type of flower, green and yellow, peeking from the top of the frame, pointing from the top of the frame down to the bottom of the frame. And on the right side is a tendrily type of plant that has little hairy spikes and curled branches, and that is overlaid on top of the 4x5 film. And those are the 10 images. I hope everyone had enough time to look at them. I'll go back if anyone has anything in particular to see. But if anyone, are we taking comments or questions now? Or at the very end?
Up to you.
How much time do I have?
I think you have a couple more minutes left.
Okay, so if anyone has any questions or comments, I'd love to hear what anyone's thinking. If not, I could just press the slideshow again, and you could just look at it on loop one more time.
I have a question for you, Noah. I was wondering, as you were experimenting with this process, if there was anything in particularly new for you that you learned or that you really, I guess, enjoyed about your project.
Yeah, thank you for asking that. Well, as we all know, it's really hard to kind of make in a non-studio environment. And I think part of this project was me exploring the access to like the implication of resources and mediums and materials. And so I think while I was kind of imagining this project, I'm used to using negatives in a dark room, but I didn't have access to that because of the pandemic. So I tried looking for materials that were around me and kind of objects or things that I knew that I'd be able to use. So I think this project really helped me push how I think of taking a photo. And I've been kind of imagining what that looks like for a couple of years now in my art practice, but this was a really good opportunity to kind of, take a step back and limit myself in terms of the resources and materials and see how I can still create photographs through that, using what I have found or what I have available. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, thank you. And you have one more question in the chat. Are you concerned about damaging the 4x5 negatives?
Let me see. Yeah, sometimes I'm concerned if I really like the negative, but I view it, I use some of, I take a lot of test film and test shots, so I have a lot of extras. So sometimes if the flower has a lot of pollen on it, I try to not use a negative that I want to save, because the pollen does actually get stuck and ruin some of the images, and sometimes it gets scratched. But for the most part, I view it as an extension of the materials already. And I learned actually as part of your class and part of this club, like I said earlier, pushing the boundaries of the medium. So trying to use the chemistry or the chemicals available, or using the actual paper or film to create images, and in this case using a scanner without using a camera to make images. So long answer to your simple question, but yeah, I don't view it as ruining it, so I'm not so scared of it.
Thank you so much, Noah. And if you're on your computer, or actually on your mobile as well, you can react some claps for Noah's project. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me share, everyone.
And up next, now we have Sela with her project. Oh, wow, this is so cute. So many reacts.
Okay, so my name is Sela Lynk, and I'm a freshman majoring in studio art, and my project is titled Welcome to New York. So I chose to title my project Welcome to New York because it was all about exploring the city. I live in New York now, but I'm originally from Wisconsin. And before I moved here, I'd only been to New York once, and it was only for a day, so I didn't really get to explore much of the city. So I chose to do my project about New York because I wanted to show my experience of moving here through my art. My pictures have a double exposure effect. to represent the curiosity and wonder that I experienced while exploring the city, but also some of the chaos I felt as well. So I'll go through my pictures, and at the end I'll take comments and questions. Okay, so that's the last picture, so I can take any comments or questions, or I can go through the pictures again.
Yeah, I have a comment. I just wanted to say how like really cool and interesting it has been, especially as a part of the collective, to see your photos like I want to say evolve over time, especially when before you had like an idea, like a set idea of where you were going to go next. To see you like take these images and work with critiques and everything and ideas and just bring such amazing photos, especially the one with the bridges, a couple back, but it was just, yeah, that one. Yeah, I love this photo. And yeah, it was just so amazing to see them progress.
Thank you.
You mentioned that these are double exposure. Can you talk about your process a little more?
Yeah, so basically the double exposure is one picture layered on top of another one. At the beginning of my project, I didn't really have a system for which pictures would be layered on top of one another, but as I went on, I started to match them together. Like these are matched together pretty well, this one. I just tried to pick things that had similar content in the pictures, but also showed a difference.
You have some nice compliments in the chat. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us with your experience with the Photographers Collective this semester?
Yeah, it was really nice to be able to be a part of this club. I'm from Wisconsin, and there wasn't really a huge art community there, so it was just really nice to like get to talk with other artists, but specifically photographers as well.
Does anyone have any other questions? Great, we just got one in the chat. Were these double exposures achieved in the darkroom or digitally?
They were done digitally.
Do you think you're gonna continue working with this project as you discover other parts of New York?
Probably.
Yeah, Christina just said it looks like analog double exposures, and I have to agree. The quality is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any last comments or questions? All right, well, thank you so much. We can get some reacts in the gallery. Thank you so much. Okay, is our next presenter ready?
I think I am.
Okay, great.
Okay, good afternoon, guys. My name is Phillip. I go by he, him. I am a freshman at Hunter, majoring in media studies. I have been a photographer for about a year, a little bit more than a year. So I'm really happy to show you guys my first project. If I could show slides, that would be great. Okay. Could you guys see this? I hope you guys
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so this is my project called Painting Perceptions, and I promise I will not be reading you every single slide, but I swear this one is important. To the reader, the writer, the picturer or photographer in me, I am a poet. And if I'm gonna draw a picture based on my poetry, I only have 1,000 words to show it, to ask how I see myself through the mirror that is media, to portray through portraits using the juice that I drip to paint with, to tell that words are not just written on maps, in courier or calligraphy specifically, but they are the background to history and therefore to life. They are not black and white, but they will be read all over. With color that is leaking, I am speaking for the words that I've painted over. So this is to show that the news is a window or a point of view through which others see you. What your screen presents in Painting the Press as poetic publishers is my inspiration. Next to picturing peers and poetic professors, my pictures are worth 1,000 words, and my camera is a reflection of imperfections. So, in taking pictures, I am painting perceptions. You know, it would be nice if I could go to the next slide. That's dramatic. Okay, so yes, my project is called Painting Perceptions, and my project is a combination of a couple of my passions. So primarily I'm a poet majoring media studies, and I use photography to bring poetry, media, and obviously one of my passions of painting to life. So one of the first things you'll notice about every one of my photos are the words in the background. Now, the words in the background are one of many of my poems. I have a lot of poems. I have a book of poems titled Words in a Map. And I pulled from every single one of my poems to make a unique photo. Yes. The next thing you will notice in my pictures are a custom-made painted newspaper. Now, these newspapers will reflect and almost personify what I want to, what my message is to the reader. So with this photo, this is a reflection of how others see me. And it was a Halloween season, so I could not let up the opportunity to incorporate some of my favorite holiday into my photography. So in this case, it will be how some monsters, or how one monster may see another monster. Next slide. Speaking of not letting things stop me, let's play this video real quick. So my friend, this is my friend Jose, he was doing quite a lot of stunts, and for some reason, while he was doing the stunts, I couldn't seem to walk. So I did really injure myself during this, to the point where I could barely move my left arm, and that stopped me from doing quite a few photo shoots that I had planned. However, I did not let that stop me because I am stubborn. So I planned my own photo shoots. So as you can see in these next few slides, these will be a portrayal of how we see ourselves in media. Now, with Ghost, what I think likely the most iconic ghost in pop culture may be the Pac-Man ghost. So this just focuses on how we see ourselves in maybe stereotypical portrayals in media, and the negative impacts that could have. As you see, we see ourselves, and then oftentimes we mold and often paint ourselves to be what we see on the screen. So this is more of a negative depiction. And with this, on the other hand, it is a witch seeing, or a magician, seeing themselves portrayed positively in the media, especially when you have traits that are often looked down upon or criticized. This tries to show how important it is and how influential it can be to see yourself portrayed in such a positive way. excuse me, this is my dear friend Arlette too. And in my third picture, one of my friend Rene, it is a picture that is somewhere between the ghost who sees a negative or stereotypical version of himself and molds himself to be like that. And between that and the witch who sees a positive depiction of herself. So in this, where you see a depiction of what some people may consider a negative aspect, this is a person coming to just embrace that. In this example will be death, embracing mortality in a person. That is to say, not everything ages like wine, but it does age, and that's just fine. So these are just 3 ways seeing ourselves in media can affect us, and 3 ways that we can go about. 3 ways we can go about reacting to it. Now, and in the next part of this is showing how much of an effect, an unparalleled effect, media can have on our creativity. So in this, this is based on a poem called Binary, which I will not read, but it just focuses on how we can be so dulled down by almost conditioning that we see in media. And that is just a juxtaposition. Wait, let me just play this. This is me still being injured. Okay, so on the other side of that coin of the media dulling us down is just showing how social media and media in general can encourage and build and foster creativity in people. It could, using color as a metaphor for creativity, it could just saturate, it could bring such saturation into our lives. This is based on a poem that I wrote during the first few weeks of quarantine, about me getting out of quarantine at the end and just filling the world with my art. And this is a project that absolutely let me do that. This is one of my friends, Chris. Okay, and towards at the end. So one of my reoccurring characters in my poetry is called Brody Gaster. And Brody Gaster is just a personification of the often grim realities of media and social media. And he often comments on the negative and positive, mostly negative effects of media with strange and genuine points of view, just to make you think. You know, I should have been timing myself to see how much time I have.
You have 2 minutes.
2 minutes? I think that's a perfect amount of time. Okay, so I'm going to recite a poem. It's titled something that I don't remember. I am Brody Gaster. Good morning, America. I'm here, standing up for those of you at home sitting down on your lug. Your TV glares like a camera taking pictures, but the only one smiling are backstage when the camera flashes. Fact is, you should have smiled then, because that was the only light part. Watching TV, telling Vision to shut down and turn the volume up because things are getting dark. Meanwhile, heaven is canceled. Meanwhile, hell is getting a sequel. Meanwhile, no one cares, and it's been a meanwhile since anyone has. Nothing really matters. Brought to you by information consumerism. Fast food for a fast thought, a shady deal for a cheap meal, a large drink, large fries, and the side effect of anxiety, death, depression, forgiveness, lower self-esteem, lower self-control, anxiety, death, bad credit, and forgetfulness. If you're experiencing any of these, record it and send it in to www.genericname.com. That's Well, that's all for me tonight, folks. Back to your normally scheduled programming. Thank you. That is it. Any questions, comments, or anything, just let me know.
I wish there were snaps, but I guess we actually have our claps.
I do too.
Yeah, you can definitely check the chat. Definitely a lot of
Is there a thing
comments
I
there.
could do while screen sharing? I will stop screen sharing for now, and if anything, I just, the 20 comments, okay. Oh, I do appreciate all of your comments. Yes, I really appreciate everything. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I have a question actually.
There we go.
Do you have any particular artists or in your life, like any inspirations that you looked to for this particular project?
Absolutely. Okay, so in this project, there are two main sources, three. There's photography, and then there's poetry, and then there's media itself. So with photography, I am inspired by people who personally influenced me. So one of my dear friends, Tony Smalls, or Tony Creations on Instagram, one of my past teachers, I'm not going to say his name, who is a great poet and DJ. And on a photography side, I've taken influence from painters who use their photography on Instagram. So painters like Alexa Mead. And media, I'm taking media class right now, and I've taken my first class. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, and you have another question in the chat actually.
Ooh.
Two.
How long have you been writing poetry? Okay, I like that question. So I started writing poetry in 2016. It says it on the back of my book. So when I first joined high school, it was the spoken word poetry club that just allowed me to grow so much as a person and just kind of find myself. So what's that, 4 years, almost 5, I think. Yeah. Let's see, any more questions?
There's one more above that from Christina.
Christina. Over here. So interested in the 80s aesthetic. You say more about. Sure. Okay, so I'm extra. So I framed all of the newspapers, put them on my wall. And so while thinking of influences that I could use for the ghost photo shoot, because it was a trend and I really wanted to get in there, but I didn't want to be like everyone else. And I also wanted to incorporate how media has an effect on us. So I tried to think of the most iconic ghosts that I could think of. And maybe besides some random side character in Scooby-Doo, I could think of, I thought of Pac-Man. And we always see ghosts portrayed in this one specific light as always the villains. And I'm sure I don't have to say what I'm using as a metaphor or anything. I'm sure you guys could probably figure out something. And just that negative stereotype always seen, and how we mold and paint ourselves after such stereotypes in the media and the power it has on us. I hope that answered your question. Okay, well, I think I'm done. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Great. So if our next presenter is ready, you can go ahead and screen share. Thank you, Phillip.
Hi, everybody. Let me just share my screen. Okay, can everybody see this? Okay, great. Hi, so,
yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Steph. The name of my project is To Reach for Something We Aren't Part of, Read the Art of the Candid and the Exploration of Human Experience. Oop, is this letting me go? Try now. Yeah, there we go. So my name is Stephanie Gazza, and I am in my senior year here at Hunter CUNY. I use she, her pronouns, and am majoring in art with my concentration being in photography. I have always taken an interest in candid photography, as well as everyday abstractions. Both these themes have inspired me in my work. So I'll just start with describing a little bit about my project. So the depth with which we as humans can experience and feel is astounding. Each individual is living through a unique experience within themselves, through others, what they think, and the emotions they feel. For the past year, I had aimed to capture the raw, unfiltered emotions and instances of authenticity. I had wanted to focus on authenticity, the real, and the genuinely flawed natural state. However, as my work evolved, so did my focus. I not only experimented with shadow and lighting, but also texture, grain, and distortion. Now I aim to take a deeper, genuine richness and emotion and expression, and I want to twist it. I seek to expose the delicate privacy that thrives within authenticity. Using digital photography, edits, and acrylic painting, I hope to have each abstraction create a feeling of omitted surrealism. So here are two pieces that I started with just distortion. And I really like distorted this one. I played around with it. I really changed the lighting, made things dramatic. And I wanted my work to draw the viewer's attention to something mesmerizing and to hold them captive, to force them to think and interpret my work on their own, and subsequently catching them in their own moments of authenticity and unfiltered raw emotion. So here's another one. Long term, I aspire to continue to have my work stay accessible to everyone and be enjoyed by all. By having my work open to the viewer's interpretation, it further pushes the reflection of the self, identity, experiences through emotion, and the beauty of being human. I had chosen to pursue such themes in my photography and painting through an exploration of my own individuality and authenticity. My art represents many things quite close and personal to me, both in the literal and metaphorical sense: sexuality, identity, intimacy, and much more, as most of the subject focus is either myself or my partner. Here are some of my acrylic paintings that I've used in overlapping and in combination with my photography. So these 4 here were actually connected. I had taped the canvases together. These are like huge, like 16 by 20. And then I did one giant painting that kind of looked like a giant puzzle. And then from there, I kind of took off and experimented with like slightly bigger canvases and then just single paintings. So that's where this one came in and this one as well. Here are some examples of what happened and kind of what my work evolved into. It's a combination of paintings and photographs. I overlaid them, like the acrylic paintings and my photographs, in Photoshop, and then I manipulated and distorted the images. So that way it was mostly shadow work, and it was kind of like a kaleidoscope effect. Some things weren't really clear. And this both features my partner, Kira, which is her. So throughout my study, I had found that oftentimes I strive to reach the impossible. And through the prospect of getting better and improving, not only within my art, but within myself as a completely candid human being, I had found more drive and desire for understanding. Understanding of not just myself, but of what links us all together and what tears us all apart. And in a way, there will always be that desire in each and every one of us, whether it is achievable or not. So that led me to my third and last title to conclude this body of work, to reach for something we aren't part of. So that concludes my presentation. If anyone has any questions or comments, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. Did I stop sharing? Yeah, you did.
If no one has a question, I have one. So I guess in combining the 2 mediums that you've been working with, do you have a preference?
I do have a preference. I definitely have preferred photography in the past. However, the more experience I get with painting, the more I prefer painting. I've found that like I'm not only able to surprise myself more, but also just kind of further push that abstraction without it seeming like unauthentic. Like I know that comes from me, not from like the computer or something like that. I have a question here in the chat. How do I achieve the shadow effects? Okay, so most of my photos were taken in a low light setting. So like mostly bedrooms where I have like the blinds drawn, or like they have a little like slats. And then that itself like creates its own natural kind of shadow work. And then when I take the pictures, I kind of just push that further. So I push like contrast, I push like shadow work, I pushed basically everything on the image. Yeah. How planned were each of your photos? Okay, so most of my photography in the beginning, like when I was in my first stage for candids, it wasn't planned at all. I just carried my camera everywhere with me. If I saw something that was beautiful or something that really like stuck with me, I took pictures of it all the time. I got really annoying. I was taking pictures of her constantly. then as I got more into my project, I realized that I wanted to focus on more intimate moments, which like involved a lot of shadow work. So I would like kind of set up different kinds of examples for myself and kind of push what I wanted to do. And now everything is pretty much staged in the sense that I know how I want to pose, because by me manipulating everything in Photoshop, it'll kind of come out candid in its own way. What comes first, the paintings or the photographs? So the photographs come first, and then I do a loose representation of what they are through painting. Jumping off Kenneth, do you feel that your photos inspire your paintings, or is it the opposite? Yeah, my photographs definitely inspire my paintings. And there's just so many factors that inspire my paintings. There's like songs, there's moods, there's just everything that I'm feeling in that moment, like any kind of like emotion that I'm experiencing through my photography that I can't really portray, I show through my paintings. Thank you for the questions. So yeah, everyone, thank you so much for your time. And I think the next presenter's up.
Okay, it's my turn. So okay, hello everybody. I'm Genesis. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a studio art major at Hunter, concentrating in photography and minoring in art history. Thank you for joining tonight. So I'm just gonna speak while I go through my photos. So the title is Coalescence, and I'll explain that later. So I've been working on this project for okay, it's not going. Jesus. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, give me a second. I don't know why it disconnected. Sorry, just give me 1 second.
I got distracted a little earlier, but Steph, did you answer all the questions in the chat?
I did, yeah.
Okay, great. Don't be afraid to unmute, y'all. I know that like it's you don't want to interrupt, but like you know, if she's reading the question, like you can unmute yourself and ask it out loud. Jen, do you want us to come back to you?
Yeah, I don't want to take away anyone's time, so
Sure, no worries.
I'm not sure. Okay.
Zhengtao, are you ready?
Yes, I can go first.
Okay, thank you. And then we'll come back to Jen.
So this is my project, and the title for it is called Blooming. So, I'm just gonna start off by introducing myself. Hi everyone, my name is Zhengtao. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a junior, double majoring in emerging media and photography at Hunter College. I'm a medical photographer and a freelance portrait photographer based in New York City. I shoot fashion, street aesthetic, and conceptual photography a lot. So my work explores the identity of humans, the moody, and the perceptual or the inner parts of a person. So the desire to find mine and others' true identity drives me to create these works. I took the Japanese aesthetic concept yugen into my works. So the word yugen means the indirect feeling or sense which within your mind when you see something beautiful. Rather than expressing outside, it's more about like the dynamism inside of your feeling. My work usually involves like high vibrant colors, but on the contrary, lonely and gloomy moods. So I shoot these sequence of photos of myself using like a Canon camera at home. So these are like self-portraits. I danced like and played guitar in front of my camera and I captured like my motions. So and finally like when I finished like doing the photo the shooting, I just rip off the background paper and I took this photo. I want to say that light is the very like basis of photography. Everything we do with photography is related to light and how it's captured. In this project, I explored the differences between light and shadows or reflections. I tried to get specifically in this one, I tried to like get a silhouette like of my face, making like very precise control of the position of my face. It took me like really long time to get my face in the right position because I was taking photographs of myself and I have to check like every single time after I took one photo. So these photos expresses my personality as an introvert. I think although like introverts may not talk a lot, they're quiet, they like to stay by themselves, but they could still like be thoughtful. Introverts like have a very active inner thought process. Um, so these photos are like my thinking process as an introvert. I can be quiet, but there's a lot going on in my mind. I could be dancing, I could be like, playing guitars. So that's my presentation. If you have like any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Yeah, you have a question already in the chat. Go ahead, Phillip.
No, okay. So it's not really a question. I was just commenting on like how you used. Okay, on one hand, the light, like the low light usage in this is so, and I guess the use of light in general is just so amazing, and you use it so well to your advantage. At first, I didn't realize that you did these by yourself because I know how hard I would struggle just with another person doing this. So this is so amazing. Question though, what do you use to like take pictures of yourself? Like, do you use like an app to?
Yeah. So there's an app. I mean, there should be like different apps for like different brands of camera. I was using like a Canon camera when shooting. So there's an app called, let me see, it should be like Camera Connect.
Yeah, I have the same. Okay.
You can just have remote control like of the camera when you're shooting, and you can access the screen on your phone screen. And for the light, actually, I was like just placing like one light over here. So on the top right corner, it's going through like this way. And I try to like put the light like, in between of my arm and my face. So this part looks actually, the light part, but the other parts are falling to darkness.
Love that.
How much do you edit your photos after you take them?
A lot. I would say a lot, like, cause I try to make it cinematic, so I added the grainy effects to it, and also I like high vibrant colors, so I will adjust the brightness and also about the contrast, highlights and dark shadows.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for your
Yeah,
comments.
definitely.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
check the chat for the comments. We have another question.
What do the specific colors you use mean? You mean like when I try to edit, like before edit, the red parts, the red highlights was like, not very red. It's just like very close to the skin tone. I actually learned a lot, from YouTube about, how to add, highlights and shadows in different colors. I think you can just use Lightroom. There's a button called like, add shadows and add light, add highlight and add shadow. You can just adjust like the color of the highlight and shadows in Lightroom like very quickly.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick because I didn't get to see your work because we were in different groups, I believe, but it's so sick. Like, it's just so good. I really like my eyes respond to color a lot. So being that the backdrop, was blue and that's a cool tone color, and then you have the lighting, which you edited in Lightroom to be a more warm tone, like something about just like, it makes me respond to it visually. So I just wanted to commend you for that. And, just like, wow, like that's all I really have to say. But I just really wanted to commend you for that because it's really, really sick.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
So that's about time. I'm just gonna check in with Genesis. Are you ready?
Yeah, it should be good now.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna show my whole desktop and then open it again because I think when I open everything up first, that's how it gets stuck. So just sorry. Okay. Okay, thank you guys for your patience. Sorry about that. Okay, so just to reintroduce, my name is Genesis. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a studio art major, minoring in art history, concentrating in photography. And I've been with the collective since last year, but we didn't really run anything. We didn't like finish the publication. So, and so my project is Coalescence, and I'll explain that title later. I've been working on this project for about a year now in Katie's class in Principles of Photo. And I've now come to sort of a completion in Advanced Photo in Reiner's class. And so I've been making photos that kind of study the human body and its resemblance to shapes and forms in nature. And my intention is to capture the lines and like folds and textures that the body creates naturally, like, in any state or when we move around. So I kind of like, my intention is to distort like the familiar perception that we generally have of the body. Like I want to figure out how I can I guess just manipulate it. And so I've done like multiple exposure photos like this one, And by the way, you guys can see me flipping through everything, right?
No, we only see the thumbnails.
The grid of the pictures.
This is okay. Okay, let's try this one more time. Well, whatever, I guess. Okay. I should have asked that first. Okay. Can you see me flipping through it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, it has to happen at the wrong moment, but yeah. So, and I'm working in black and white only. Well, I'm doing color too, but for the publication, just black and white, 120 format. And so the title Coalescence, it's kind of, I think, a temporary title, but it refers to the body merging with like elements of nature and like of the earth, and kind of just reversing the visual, like physical components of the two. Yeah. And I can take questions as I'm flipping through them. You can speak up or comment.
Genesis, could you describe your process of taking these photos? Like what usually goes through your head while you're doing all this?
Sure. So I really just try to get into different like angles, and like try to kind of just get like under the body, or usually I have my boyfriend model for me, or I use my own body. Some of these images are newer and are of my friend, and so it is usually, the subject is usually completely nude, and I just try to get as close as possible, you know, with my camera. And if I can't get that close, then, you know, post taking the photographs, I'll just crop into them. So most of these like are cropped images. There's, you know, more to like the images more than this, but I just try to remove a lot of the background, and really just try to focus on the skin and the body. So, and if I do have a background, like in this photo, I usually just like to have it just all black or white, just as plain as possible. Yeah, thanks for that question. And that's the last photo, but I'll go through them again.
Mel, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I can't see the comments when I'm screen sharing, so I don't know if you want to read them aloud.
Yeah, I had a question like about the last photograph. Like, how was your process with that one? How do you exactly like get that exposure? And I don't know, I think it's so striking, and like I can't even tell how many bodies it is, but I think it's really beautiful. And I would just love to know more about your process behind that one.
Thanks, Mel. So this is me and my boyfriend, and we really just, it's so okay. Together we kind of just tried to get our bodies to merge as much as possible. So, you know, we're like holding on to each other and trying to get our skin just to, I guess, become one, and to just like
further that like merging of bodies. I did multiple exposures, so I think this is a double exposure. Yeah. I've done others where I do like 3 in 1, but this is 2. And also like a part of like something that's like important to me too is like trying to, I mean, in this photo it's less of this, but trying to also sometimes hide that it is a body. Obviously here you can see hands and stuff, so you know it's a body, but like you know, in the original photo you can see like my tattoos, my tattoo and my boyfriend's, and so I kind of just blurred that out, because like like in a photo here, maybe like if you zoom into it or just seeing it the way it is, it can look like something else from first glance. So yeah. And I'm presenting it in the same order that it would be in the book. I actually have, how much time do I have?
You have 2 more minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna show like one of the ways that I would have wanted to present this in person would have been through projection. And just because the first time I tried it out presenting it as a projection, I really liked the way the photos blended into the wall. This has some sound, it's not that loud, but I don't know, I'll just volume it down a little bit. So this is a video of a projection that I did. And this is actually more photos than I just showed. It's like I just showed you guys 20 photos and this has like 46 pictures. And the background sound is water like rustling from a river. So kind of just to add to that like nature aspect. And it just changes the quality of the photos a bit.
So I have a question. Like, what are your favorite elements in nature they think would resonate the most with the human body? I mean, maybe even water like you have here in the sound.
I guess like,
or like trees with bodies type of thing.
I mean, I don't know if I think of like a specific landscape, but like, I guess I would, my goal is for, you know, the viewer to see something similar to like, you know, like rivers, or not river, yeah, like maybe rivers or like some kind of valley or like mountains, something like that. And I, you know, I really wish that I could present these in a physical space to everyone, because I really feel like I would present it like, you know, it would just be a different experience. I feel like you would be able to see that more. But yeah, thanks for the question.
Genesis?
Yes.
Hi, this is Kenneth. When do you discover the landscapes, the points of view that you see in these photographs? Do you actually see them when you're photographing them? Or
yeah.
do you do it in post?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely see it before. Like, you know, when I have somebody modeling for me, you know, I'm looking at them naked, like, and I'm seeing the parts, you know, just I'm seeing them in their full, I don't know, full way they are. And so, you know, I try to get that as much as possible through my camera, which is very difficult because it's a heavy camera. But, and you know, I don't always get the result that I want. But that's why I try to crop a lot post taking the photo. And I guess that's also a way I say it, you know, when I see the negative, when I see the image, I tried to zoom into different parts and see those landscapes. So yeah, thanks for that question, Kenneth.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Teresa, you're muted.
Oh, well, I don't want to interrupt, but whenever you're done, we can move on to the next person.
Kept playing it, but if that's time, then thank you guys, and sorry for the technical difficulties, but thank you for being patient. And pass it on to the next person.
Hi everyone, my name is Kimberlee Innis. I am currently a junior at Hunter College. I'm a double major in emerging media and photography. My work is basically called Those I Love Through My Eyes, and it is digital photography. Capturing the people that I love the most makes me the happiest. Capturing Blackness in the best light is important to me. So basically my work is about being Black and embracing true Blackness no matter the background. Understanding that Blackness comes in many forms. My work is personal, introspective, loving, expressive, open, raw, and multifaceted. My work is a celebration of me, of us, and throughout my work, I wanted to play around with color and the lack thereof color in relation to the Black skin. So if anyone has ever experienced it, creating any art or doing anything actually through depression is challenging. I actually originally didn't know what I wanted to create. And then I looked around me and I saw the people that that I love that aren't my blood family but have become family. I've seen them through their brightest and their darkest days. I've seen all of them. These two people are big inspirations to me. I've seen them grow and flourish into the people that they are today. I've grown alongside of them whilst learning lessons from them. I'd say I'm very grateful to have these amazing human beings in my life. They taught me what it is to love unconditionally, what it is to forgive, and what it is to understand. They taught me to be vulnerable. Therefore, I found it only right to make them the center of my project. The people around me, the people that I love and cherish, they have allowed me to be vulnerable, and here in this art, they've become vulnerable. I've invaded their space to show you sides of them that I know so well. They're parts of me, parts of my heart, and they add to my whole. And that is it for my presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
This one is more of a comment, but the photograph that's on the bottom left, I think it's incredibly beautiful how this person is like illuminated like they're a constellation, they're part of the stars, and this like reflective surface, which I'm not sure if that's almost like a disco ball reflection or water being reflected. I think it's just like a very lovely image with like a lot going on, and I love how you're really exalting the people that you love.
I also have a comment. I think all of your photos are beautiful, but I really love the one on the bottom right. I think all of your photos show like an intimate relationship with these people, but I love this one on the bottom right where you're behind this person and they're kind of just looking out into the distance. It feels like you're really like looking at these people and like thinking about like very intentionally thinking about the way you want to represent them.
I'll ask a question. This is Caitlin. I noticed that in some of these, in most of the pictures, the face is obscured to some degree. can you talk about maybe like the meaning of that to your work?
Honestly, it just happened to be a coincidence. I felt like the way I was shooting them, they just happened to be obscure, like the way the light was hitting their skin. It wasn't my intention, but I think it just adds to like the whole meaning or purpose, like showing them in this light, showing some of them you see what you can see, and then you don't see, like the rest is in the darkness. So it wasn't on purpose, but I definitely appreciate that was the end result. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Oh, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why, sorry if you said this already, but a reason why some are in black and white and some are in color?
So basically, oh, can you hear me? Okay, so basically when I started, I didn't have a clear vision of what direction I wanted my work to head in. And then one of the first images I shot was the image with the green lighting. And it was actually Phillip who brought it to my attention, like I should play around with like color and how it looks on the black skin. And then I thought it would be very interesting if I had some pictures, especially the one in the bottom left of my best friend, where it's there's the like it looks, someone said she looks like she's a part of like the galaxy or something. If I had it in black and white so people could guess what it was, or like it could have another layer of depth. So it wasn't like, I just wanted to play around with how color or lack of color like played around with like black skin. All right. Thank you all for the questions and the feedback.
Is our next presenter ready?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Moselle. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a junior at Hunter, and I'm a studio arts major. The title of my project is What Happens Next. And within the project, I'm able to use street photography, street photos, as well as black and white film. To refer to my question within my title, What Happens Next, my work focuses on the effects of the pandemic. My goal was to capture the changes that New Yorkers are experiencing daily as they try to properly exist during this time, and document and create a dialogue about confinement, whether at home or the confinement in the streets. This is my last photo. I'll go through them again, but if there's any questions, I can definitely answer.
Y'all can unmute and say your comments aloud.
I really like the use of black and white. Makes the point, I guess, that you're trying to drive even more significant. It adds another layer of like depth to your images.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with Kimberly. I feel like, especially just with the point of your project, with trying to emulate what's going on right now in the world and how, New York is seeing a real immense change of pace. I feel like it adds to it because, black and white, there's something so timeless about the two colors, especially with photography. So I feel like that does a really great job at capturing the state that the world is currently in. So props to you. Good job.
I see that you're using like a really powerful sense of framing here. And I think in all the pictures, I see that sense of confinement and how you framed every picture, even if it's like outside. So yeah, I'm really impressed by these. These are really beautiful images.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your comments. Let me see if I can. Were your pictures taken in different boroughs? Yes, they were. I tried to spread out as much as I could during the quarantine. It was kind of hard to do, but I was able to take pictures in Harlem. I focused in the Bronx in some instances. I was able to go to Queens and Midtown, where the boroughs that I kind of was able to reach to. Thanks for the question. I'm gonna stop sharing. Thank you, everyone.
I have another question. In the picture where the little girl was wearing the face shield, did you know her?
Yeah, she was my niece.
Okay, yeah.
No, it's okay. I was able to see my niece. I think it was like in the first 3 months of quarantine, but I have a compromised immune system. So B and her both had to be kind of cautious with that. So I was able to take a photo in the meantime as well. Thanks, everyone.
Well, I guess that leaves me. So, hi everyone. My name is Rene. My pronouns are he, she, and they. I'm a freshman at Hunter College, and my major is undecided, but I'm most likely leaning toward studio arts. So let me just get my screen ready for you guys, and we could just get right into it. Okay, everybody can see that, right? Okay, perfect. All right. So the title of my project is Through Better Understanding. And I really wanted to take this opportunity to take pictures of not only just myself, but also of my friends, since I've been wanting to do that for the longest. So I'm gonna read my artist statement for you guys, and then that'll better explain the project and we'll get into it. So let me just, okay. So peeling back the layers of their individuality as the years pass you by, regardless of how long you've known your friends, you're almost always getting to know more about them. People are constantly evolving, and so are you, always building upon the foundations of your character. I feel like it serves as a good refresher to have a sit down with the friends and, delve into things that you don't really talk about, and topics of conversation, especially when you're living moment to moment with each other in your lives. So I was aiming to take a more susceptible approach and create a realistic atmosphere through interaction in order to establish authenticity with each of my friends individually, with both their words and their portraits. And overall, my intention here was to gain a mutual and improved understanding of each other, and or our individual relationships, not only through the means of dialogue and photography, but also makeup artistry. So that being said, I have a couple of slides with the pictures. I also have some quotes with them. So I'm going to be taking some little breaks in between so everybody could read the quotes, and then we're just going to move on like that. So without further ado, here's my project. Okay, those are all the pictures. So if anybody has any questions, comments, of course, I'm willing to answer. Let me just go back to the beginning to go through them as we move along. Yeah, okay. Let me see. Okay.
Okay, so are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to start off. Hi guys, I'm Emily. I am Renee's friend. I put family because like he's like my world. But I just wanted to say that I'm super proud of you for all the effort and hard work that you put into this project. I'm beyond amazed, even though I saw it like beforehand. Like, I'm just super proud of you and everything that you really did to get it to be just perfect. Like, guys, he's not only obsessive, he's like a perfectionist when it comes to his work. So he really pours himself into his craft, and I'm just so proud of you, and I love it.
Not you about to make me cry on the Zoom call. You can't do that. Oh my God, girl.
Stop.
Okay.
I want to piggyback off of Emily. Honestly, Renee, it's been so amazing to see like your art kind of grow to be the way it is now, and like how vulnerable you've been with us, like showing us these images, and how you were able to get your friends to be so vulnerable with you that it feels like they were vulnerable with us in the way that like the pictures are taken. And I just want to say like amazing job. Like you really did that.
Thank you so much, Kimberlee. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah, this is not even a question. I'm just saying, like, we were in like the same interview call, and like since like then, you've been like influencing me, like with my self photography especially, because you're mad talented. Are you about to cry yet? I'm trying really hard. Like it's just such a good inspiration, and like the talent. It's just I'm killing it, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh my God. Y'all, geez.
Yes, Renee, just seeing you grow as like an artist and a person within your work, it's just really inspiring, and it's really really great to see how far you've come. I love your work.
Thank you so much, Steph. Oh my God. Y'all getting me all types of emotions. It's a lot. But in the best way possible. In the best way possible. Okay, let me stop and see if I have any questions here in the chat.
I was gonna ask you, I mean, I know I learned a little bit about your work. You know, we didn't meet on the same days, but I learned a little bit through your Instagram takeover. So for those who didn't see it, can you talk more about like your process with like doing the makeup and the photos, and also the paintings that were included in some of the photos? Were those yours, and what are those about?
Yeah, so the pictures with the paintings in them, the pictures of my friend Makaya, those were her paintings that she wanted to bring along in the photos. Those were some self-portraits that she did last year. We had for our senior art show that we didn't get to unfortunately show in person, but she wanted to bring them along because she felt like they were very representative of herself. And in her later interview, she also had that comment of water being turbulent and also water being somewhat peaceful. And I felt like this all together as a whole with the makeup look I did with the line work and the water and her comment about the water, I felt like they all just really melded well together. So that's what that was about specifically. And also in regard to my process, so I was thinking in mind what I had originally thought was doing the interviews, creating a look with inspiration from the interviews and my friends, and just shooting the pictures from there. But instead, being that, you know, all my friends that I shot for this project I've known for years now, and I had a relatively good idea of who they were as people and how I could emulate that visually through graphic liners. So that's why I did the makeup first, then shot the pictures, and then did the interviews. So that being said, I hope that answers your question. Let me see. Oh, we got one here. Did this take much direction? So this did not take much direction. When it came to shooting, these pictures, all of us were all really comfortable with each other, and just me with them individually and us as a whole, we all just really work well together with anything and just feed off of each other's energy well. So, it didn't take much direction, especially since, the girls do be creative sometimes. So, just having them give their input in and seeing how we could work around and play with it, I thought it was cute. So, yeah. Did you have the recordings? So yeah, the recordings I all did on my phone. They're all like in voice notes. I just took some snippets of each one with one quote because I just didn't want to like overwhelm everything. So I do have interviews. I do plan on showing more of the interviews and giving a more behind the scenes with the interviews on my Instagram when I do a little highlight for the project. So yeah, be tuned for that. How much time do I have left, just to be sure?
You have 2 more minutes.
Okay, perfect. Let me see if I have any other questions. Will they be on the website? You mean the interviews? Right. Okay. I want to see if I could possibly put them on the website. I feel like that would really add to it, and then everybody would really get a feel for how the whole thing went, and they could even see my relationships with each individual person and how our energy feeds off of each other as a whole. So I would like to include that. They are a little lengthy, 30 minutes each, but I feel like, more content, more is more, and that's just more to enjoy. So yeah, I would like that to possibly happen. There goes my best friend linking the page in the chat, very much, promoting it. He posts some of the audios there, guys. Yeah, there you go. I love you, Emily. You already know. And also real quick, I just want to shout out my friends. They're for the most part all here. And I just want to tell them like thank you, and it means a lot to me just to have them, oh God, I do not want to cry. Just to have them be a part of this, because this has been a long time coming, and they really, I love y'all so much, and y'all brighten my world every single day. But yeah, that's that on that.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you for including us. We love you so much.
I love you, girl.
We love your whole life, all of it, every piece of your life. We love.
Exactly.
I love y'all. All right, we probably won't talk later. It's fine. Okay, but yeah, so that's that on me.
Yeah. Were there any other questions that you wanted to get to? I think that was it, right? Okay. So that concludes our the presentation portion of our showcase. So if y'all just wanted to give one last round of applause for all of our amazing artists. So right now, I did want to ask if you are comfortable and would like to be in our group picture. Turn on your cameras so we can take one. And we will definitely be sharing this on social media. Yeah, so if you are willing and ready, I will be taking, there are a whopping 33 people in here, so I'll be taking like 2 screenshots, so just bear with me. Just gonna wait another second for people to turn on their cameras. Okay, yay, okay. So I'll count to 3 and I'll take a picture of the first screen and then I'll do the second one. So ready, 1, 2, 3. All right, cute. And then the second page again, 1, 2, 3. Awesome, thank you so much. And then we do have a little special surprise from eBoard for our cohort. Just give me 1 second. Oops, so I will be sharing the social media after this, but first we will be doing a little bit of a surprise. We have some superlatives for our cohort members because we're just really grateful, and like honestly, past cohorts that we've tried to host like in person on campus have not been this successful or have met this often, have been on top of their game in terms of completing their projects or meeting every week for critique. And I just really commend all of you for your amazing work and your diligence during this time. So first up, we have Noah with the Anna Atkins Awards. So some of these are real and some of these are fake that we made up or like inspired by artists that reminded us of your work. But this award goes to Noah for your outstanding use of alternative photography. And I just really appreciate your contributions to the conversation. You always have, you know, another artist that reminds you of someone's work, or you have like a resource that you are constantly sharing with the group. So I just am really glad that you were able to be a part of our cohort this semester.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate working with everyone. It's been really nice.
Next up, we have Sela with the World Street Photography Award in the category of juxtaposition, because we are really impressed with how you were able to use your double exposures and be really creative with your project in an environment that is completely new to you. So congratulations. And like, this is a big award, but we love you and thank you so much for your outstanding work in photography.
Thank you.
And next we have Phillip with the Sweet Fly Paper of Life Award. And we actually have a gallery named after this in the Hunter North building. And it is two artists that collaborated using photography and poetry, and that reminded us of you. So this is an award for outstanding interdisciplinary use of photography and poetry. And you know, that was a really amazing presentation and like very captivating, and we really love your work. So
Thank you.
great. Steph, sorry, we didn't put your full name because we always just call you Steph. But,
prefer it that way.
but yeah, this is the International Prize for Excellence in Photography for contributions for the field of photography as contemporary art. And I think as soon as you started showing your work, we were really impressed at how you were able to combine two mediums. And honestly, like when I think of contemporary art and up and coming, like I really think that your work fits the shoe. So great work. And Zhengtao, we have the Chromatic Award for Outstanding Technical Skills in Lighting. We were really blown away, I think, in terms of you sitting at critiques and like spending time with us. Like we definitely missed you, but like in the end, like you really pulled through with your project, and we are so amazed at the end results. So great job as well.
Thank you. I appreciate.
Also, I know I'm zipping by, it's because we're running short on time, but because we have some closing announcements as well, but I'm sure we can all like meet later and like add on to these comments. So this is the next award, goes to Genesis. The Taylor was saying Photographic Portrait Prize. This is a real one for outstanding self-portrait photography. I think when you first came into the collective, like given that you were a part of it in the past, like I think you were really ready to work and be in our group, and like you had like these really amazing ideas. So to like really develop them throughout this semester, like I was really happy to see you be able to work with us again. So I'm really happy. And also Jen's been my friend since high school, and we have a lot of high school friends here. So it's just like, thank you so much for like being a part of this, everyone.
Thank you, Teresa, and all of you.
And next up, we have Kimberlee with the David Lynch Award for Outstanding Skill in Use of Cinematic Photography. I think we really like, when we saw your images, we had to like sit with them because like they're, I mean, compared to the other projects, you had less images and numbers, but the impact of them was just so much more powerful because of your use of like cinematic lighting, and also like how you chose to frame your images. So really great job this semester.
Thank you.
And then we have the Eugene Smith Grant Award to Moselle for intriguing insight on humans dealing with social, public health, and economical issues. So I think like this award was pretty spot on with you, where I feel like you were dealing with really real life matters that you know, it's hard for us to sort of deal with, but your photography really captured that struggle that humans have to deal with, and that I really appreciate that your project focused on that, because it's something that we should be talking about. So great job.
Thank you.
And last but not least, the Nan Golden Award to Rene for outstanding work in photographic storytelling. When I first saw your images, like I thought of Nan Golden, and I mean, I'm sure are other artists that that Rene's work can remind you of, but I just felt like with the use of the makeup and in terms of the framing, like the portraits, I just felt like they were really beautiful, and yeah, you did a really great job, and I'm excited to see your work on to be presented on other platforms, like beyond just the magazine. So I'm excited to like see everything on the site and everything. But that was the last award. Sorry, I feel like I'm like word vomiting now. But you know, I hope that we can all sort of get together again, because throughout the semester, we did work in 2 separate groups, and this is the first time we're all really seeing each other's work. So again, like really great job to everyone, and we love that you were able to be in this with us. So 1 second. I have a couple of closing announcements. Oh, okay. So there were 3 people that were in our cohort and attended some critiques, but they weren't able to finish their projects in time, so they will be joining us next semester. So we have 3 honorable mentions, Ashaya, MD, and Jacob. So if we have a virtual showcase next semester, I hope you will join us and get to see their work as well. And I'll just take a quick pause because I've been talking a lot, but if y'all want to follow all of our artists on Instagram, oh, actually, sorry, I need to update the slide with Noah's website because he doesn't use Instagram, but yeah, if y'all just want to take a second to follow everyone, or like you can take a screenshot of this and just stay connected with us. But I think this was mentioned during presentations, but a few of our artists did Instagram takeovers. So if you go over to our Instagram account, then you'll be able to watch their Instagram takeovers and our highlights. Yeah, I'll give y'all a minute to do that. All right, so I'm just gonna assume y'all like took a picture or something where you know, you'll be able to connect with us, but we're following all of the artists on our Instagram. So if you follow us and then you hit our following, then you'll be able to find everybody. All right, so next semester, I'm sorry, not next semester, coming soon, we'll have a print publication. So we are still working with the artists to format our like curating the magazine and the order everything is going to be in. So today, like you really saw what the final projects are, but you know, laying it out in the actual print publication is a whole nother project. So that's something that we'll continue to work on in January. So that's something to look forward to. So sorry, can someone on my e-board drop the link to the interest form in the chat?
I can do it.
Okay, thank you. So we understand, and actually like seeing how many people like RSVP'd, showed up, and like have been showing their support during this event, we did want to give you all a chance to get the print publication. So we are a club at Hunter, and we are, you know, a magazine club that is, you know, for students, by students. So we want to make this free magazine available to everyone. And we want to offer it, if you fill out this interest form, for friends and family of the artists. You can ask the artist if they can like coordinate something with you where you don't have to pay for shipping. But if you are outside of Hunter College, like if you fill out this form and you pay for shipping, then we will send you a magazine, but it'll be sometime next semester or next year. Okay, great, thank you, Camille. So in addition to the print publication, we want to start using our website again. The print publication will be available as a PDF on the site. If you don't want to pay for shipping, you'll be able to view it online. And we'll also have a website set up for all of our artists. So there's a digital space that their work can live in forever. But that is coming soon. And for any Hunter College students in the audience or even Hunter College alum, we are having another cohort next semester. So if you're interested, we will be posting the application form sometime in January as well. We asked for a project proposal. All of our artists started with submitting an idea that they wanted to work on throughout the semester. And then additionally, they sent portfolio or examples of their work so we can sort of see what they have been working in the past. And then we will have a group interview to get to know everyone, just to do a little vibe check. And then afterwards, we will let you know whether or not we think you're a good fit for a cohort. So I do invite, as I've told all the artists like in our last meeting, y'all are welcome to apply again. And I'm confident that you'll have the skills and the project ideas that you need to be accepted again. But that I believe is all that I have, except for thank you for coming. I really appreciate everyone again. And if you're a student right now or even a professor, good luck with finals. It's a really tough time, but I hope you will all take care of yourselves and have a safe and happy holiday. But yeah, I'll stop screen sharing now because I know people are in the audience and I don't want to stare at them. I want to stare, at the slideshow, I want to stare at you guys. But yeah, thank you again so much for coming. It means a lot. Well, I don't want to tell y'all to leave, but it's 9. Artists, if y'all stay back, we can take a group picture, but if you have to go, then we'll organize something else another time. Okay, actually, I think people left. Yeah, people are going. All right, well, bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thanks so much. I can't wait to see what we all do. Have a good night. Also, that part.
Wait, are we gonna take a screenshot?
Yeah, I think some people left, but it's okay. We can still take with whoever.